What's good, everyone? Jamie, 434 back again. This is the third review of the day. I promised y'all I'd get this done for you. I know it's come maybe a day or two late, but anyway, it's getting done for you. So this is NXT Great American Bash. Great American Bash is on the same day as same time as All In Texas. Everyone knows that I love NXT. NXT, I've loved it since the beginning. Um, but I watched All In over NXT. So anyway, well, let's get into it. So the open match tonight: Jasper Troy taking on Javon Evans. Bell rings as both men stare each other down. Troy sends Evans crashing into the corner with Evans firing back with some right hands. Troy sends Evans crashing into the ring apron spine first. And then Evans does a little bit of a fight back, fights off Troy with some right hands, and then Troy shoves Evans crashing into the mat. Now, the deserved winner of LFG, by the way, Troy is an absolute beast. So I am a big fan of Jasper Troy. I was surprised at the outcome. I do not think Javon needed the win. I think you need to build up Troy better because I think he's going to be the one to beat Obafemi. Evans wins, frog splash off the top rope. Evans then sets up the OG cutter, and then went over for the standing splash, and Evans gets the pin with victory. Next up, women's North American title match. So Ruka defend against Izzy Dame. Izzy's best match by some distance. So far, I have been a big fan of her since she's joined the Culling. With Tatum Paxley now joining as well with Sean Spears and Nico Vance. Bell rings. Zarya chases Paxley around the ring. The referee tries to hold him back. Dame lands a set out powerbomb. And the referee still trying to deal with Zarya and Paxley. When just show him taking to the back ref. Sol Ruka gets a foot on the bottom rope to break the painful after the referee is late to begin the count. Dame lands a shoulder on Sol Ruka's midsection. Then she crashes into the mat with a fallaway slam. Dame rolls up Ruka. Sol Ruka kicks out. Sol Ruka does land then a moonsault on Izzy Dame. And then after that, Ruka intercepts Dame with a super kick and ascends to the top rope. Dame looks like she's going to land a superplex. And Sol Ruka lands on her feet. Now, this woman is simply fantastic. Now, she is going to be over as fuck when she comes to the main roster. Please, we're on SmackDown. She'll drop the belt, drop it to Zarya, and there you go. Paxley helps Dame out of the ring. Zarya then lands a spear on Paxley. So Ruka then catches Dame with the Soul Snatcher. And for the 1, 2, 3. Next up, match tonight. Ricky Saints against Ethan Page for the North American title. Bell rings and Saints waste no time. Saints fires with some right hands and lands a spear on him. Lands a knee to the side of the head. Page sends Saints crashing into a garbage can on one of the barricades, but Saints brawls a Page up into the crowd. Saints sends Page crashing into the alternate sides of the stands, then brawls them into the concession area. Page sends Saints crashing into a post spine first, and clinches into a Boston Crab on him. Page then sends up for the Eagle's Edge. Saints escapes, fires off with some right hands, then returns to the ringside area, and Page grabs a couple of chairs from under the ring. Hits Saints with the chairs. Saints kicks out. Page grabs some more chairs, then Saints hits out with a fire extinguisher to Ethan Page's face. Saints sets up 2 chairs back to back, but Page lands a back body drop on Saints and sends him crashing on top of him. Lands a vertical suplex. Saints kicks out at 2. Page then sets up 4 chairs facing each other and sits Saints on the top rope, then joins him up there. Saints flips off the top rope and powerbombs Ethan Page on the 4 chairs. That move was fucking sick, by the way. Page kicks out at 2. Saints and Page brawl into the backstage area. Saints sends Page crashing into a wall. Saints uses a pipe to land the kick on Page. But Page sends Saints crashing into Jasper Troy backstage. An enraged Troy chokeslams Saints on the top of a nearby rope case. Page then lands the Eagle's Edge off the top of the stage through a pair of tables, and Page gets a 1, 2, 3. As I said, match of 9. Some fucking distance. Worth watching, 1,000,000,000%. Next up, we have the contract signing with Santana, Hendry, and Trick Williams for the match at Slammiversary. I will be covering that, by the way. It'll be on my channel as soon as it's done. Santana says he respects Hendry and how he represents TNA, but he's still standing in the way of him becoming TNA champ. Hendry says he respects what Santana just said, and he wants to take TNA wrestling back to new heights, like he would. Trick then asks Santana and Hendry if they're good now to get everything out of their system. Hendry signs a contract. Santana signs a contract as William invokes Santana's daughter's name. Not a good move. Then Trick and Hendry and Santana sign the contract and beat the hell out of Trick. After that, Dark State attack both Santana and Joe Hendry. Is Trick the leader of Dark State? Wouldn't mind it, but I don't think now it would probably not make a lot of sense. It's obviously at the fact that Dark State have already attacked Trick. So yeah, on that. Next up, NXT Champion match. Obafemi defending against Yoshiki Inamura. Great match. Bell rings and 2 lock up. Femi sends Inamura crashing into the mat. Inamura lands a splash on Femi in the corner and follows up with an elbow drop. Femi gets Inamura up on his shoulders. Inamura levels Femi with a flying shoulder tackle on the outside and dumps him back into the ring. Inamura delivers a spinning body slam to Femi. Femi levels Inamura with a cutter and follows up with a brainbuster. Follows up with a couple of knees to Inamura's midsection, then delivers a big spine buster. Inamura responds with a vertical suplex to Femi. Fires off with some right hands and chops on him, then connects with a German suplex on him and ascends to the top rope. Inamura then flies off the top rope, but Femi moves out of the way and delivers the upcutter on to Inamura in the corner, accidentally hitting the referee. Briggs hits Femi with the NXT title belt, and Inamura delivers a bad body drop to him, then descends to the top rope, and then he realizes what Briggs did. Idiot. If you're going to win the title, you got to do it by any means fucking necessary. Would you see Ethan Page not do that? Inamura lands a frog splash on Femi. Goes to pin him. Referee's still down. Inamura fires off chops on Femi's chest. Then follows up with a powerbomb. Goes to the pin after the referee returns to the ring. Oba kicks out. Oba's the perfect storyteller in NXT. Best thing about NXT right now. Briggs hops back up in the apron. Femi cleans his clock. And Inamura rolls up Femi. Femi kicks out and delivers a fall from grace on Inamura for the win. Inamura, great. But you gotta take advantage if you're going to win matches. And then, main event. Fatal Influence with Jasmine Nix. Oh, yeah, baby. Versus Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe, formerly known as Mariah May. Start a match. Grace and Henley begin the match. Bell rings, the 2 women lock up. Grace fires up right hands to Family's chest, then tags in JC Jane. Jane then kicks out, then tags in Monroe. Monroe locks up with Jane, but Jane whips Monroe into the mat with a hair whip. Monroe responds with a drop kick. Henley tags back in, and Monroe sends her crashing into the mat with a spinning slam. Now, everyone's going to mock Blake Monroe at this present moment, but she has not wrestled properly since Revolution. So I'm giving Blake Monroe a lot of time. JC distracts the referee as Monroe rolls up Henley. Henley kicks out at 2 and sends Monroe crashing into the ropes, where Nix is waiting for a cheap forearm strike to hit her. Jane tags in, fires off stomps on Monroe in the corner, jams a boot into the neck, but manages to tag in Jordan Grace. Grace goes all 420, runs over Jane and Henley. Jane locks in a submission hold on Grace, and Fallon tags back in. As JC sends Grace crashing into the mat spine first. Henley levels Grace with a basement forearm, goes to the pin. Grace kicks out at 2. Henley sends Grace crashing into the top turnbuckle spine first and tags back in Jane. Jane fires off stomps on Grace and tags in Fallon again. A lot of tagging. Well, to be fair, I'm surprised this was the main event. I would have probably put I'd probably put Ricky and Ethan as main event, but then again, they want to present Blake Monroe as a bigger star. Next lands a cheap kick onto Blake Monroe's chest, opening the door for Jane to land a Santon on Monroe. Off the apron, dumping Monroe inside the ring. Fallon tags in and flies off the apron, sending Monroe crashing into the mat. Monroe rolls up Henley. Henley kicks out at 2. Grace tags herself in and lands a spinebuster. Monroe runs over Henley with a knee strike. Henley delivers a spear to Grace through the middle rope and tags in Jane. Monroe tags in on her side and levels Jane. But Henley slides into her to distract. Next pushes Monroe off the top rope and she ascends. And Marsha Slamovitz, the Knockouts champion, appears and brawls from next up the ramp. Now, if you don't know, Slammiversary this upcoming Sunday, it is Marsha Slamovitz against JC Jane or Jordan Grace. Now, if you don't know, if you know what's Evolution yet, it is going to be JC Jane and Marsha Slamovitz. And they brawl up to the entrance ramp. Jane and Henley land a double knee strike combination on Monroe. Jane pins her. Grace sends herself, and Henley crashing over the pair to break the fall. Grace and Henley begin brawling again as Monroe and Jane do the same. Jane and Monroe level each other with clotheslines. Henley levels Grace with a kick using the ring posts. Monroe cleans Henley's clock. Jane rolls her up. Blake kicks out at 2. Grace lands a strike on Jane from the apron, with Blake spiking with a DDT for the 1-2-3. Good show. Was it better than All In? No. I don't think this show is better than All In. All In, for me, was a fucking great show. There was just a few little things I was wrong with All In for me, but I felt the main event should have been Ricky and Ethan, but then again, Sean is just going to try and present Blake Monroe into a megastar. But I can't complain. We've literally just overcome about 14 hours worth of wrestling. Anyway, that's your NXT review. Evolution's coming up later on tonight. So I got Evolution done, and then I'm going to start on Raw, NXT, and then we're going to go into Dynamite. There's going to be no TNA Impact this week. I'll get SmackDown done by Saturday or Sunday, and then Slammiversary, I will get that done for you by Monday or Tuesday. Depends on how I feel. So there we go. So, anyway, that is your NXT Great American Bash review. Hope you enjoyed it. If you don't, fuck yous. And all I can say is I'll see you for the next review, Evolution. Thank you, obviously, and peace.